So, good day guys, we're here in the Torremolinos marina, or Benalmádena, and I'm going to try to find us some catamarans today so that we can check out the difference between a sailboat or a monohull and a catamaran. Okay, for some of you guys, I'm just kicking in an open door, but what we're looking at ahead of us is of course a monohull with its single hull. And what you hopefully also can see now is that even though there's only a slight breeze, the boat is actually moving from side to side. So next thing is spacing, interior and exterior. So as you can see here, there's more space on the outside of the boat, and as you can see here, there's also, even on a small boat, more space. So here you can not only see my beautiful Photoshop skills, but hopefully you can also see the difference between a much larger monohull and a catamaran. The catamaran will offer a wider, more space on the width, and also more interior space. Oh, and number 4 on this list is that catamarans make horrible noises while sailing upwind. So the distance between the water surface and the underside of the deck is called a bridge deck clearance. If this distance is not big enough, even small waves will start smashing into the underside of the boat. And this repeated cycle of waves hitting the boat does not only induce great noise, but it also creates a lot of vibrations, and that in itself creates discomfort to the crew and makes life terrible on the boat. And since a monohull doesn't have this type of bridge deck clearance, this is not an issue at all on a monohull, but on a catamaran it could be a big problem. So choosing the right boat and bridge deck clearance is important. And also it's good to say that it's not a big deal when it comes to coastal waters and stuff like that, but if you want to go big waves and big oceans, that's definitely a. So number 5, that is monohulls are slower than catamarans. Of course, there are monohulls that are faster than some catamarans, but comparing length and comparing the same type of catamaran, that is like a racing catamaran or on a racing monohull, the catamaran will be faster, unless something's wrong. And that is mainly due to reduced drag and increased lift that comes from having 2 hulls instead of 1. Number 6, catamarans offer less handling feedback. So one big benefit of having a boat that heels, a monohull that is, that it's a great way to get feedback. So as soon as the boat start leaning, you'll get the feedback to the helm that, okay, we're getting power to the boat, we're moving faster, and when it starts to heel or lean too much, you know, you might be overpowered. So it's a pretty dynamic feedback loop, which is perfect. On a catamaran, it's different. You won't get that same leaning sensation, which could be difficult for a unexperienced catamaran sailor transitioning from a monohull, expecting that feedback. So be aware. Number 7, monohulls are harder to dock. So basically what you see in this picture is that you see a marina, which is, it's pretty big, but it could be a little bit challenging if you have winds and currents against you. But on a catamaran, what you would do is you would go into the center, you would do 1 engine in reverse, you would do 1 forward, and then you make a 360 spin on the spot, which is basically what a tank would do, which is pretty cool. On a monohull, you would need that speed to get some water passing around the rudders to make the boat actually turn. And yeah, it's a little bit more tricky, you need a little bit more space, but on a catamaran that could be a little bit easier. So number 8, catamarans are more fuel efficient. So, well, this is the same thing as the catamarans are faster. You have less drag, you have a better efficiency when it comes to power the boat, and that also applies to the engines on board. But saying a catamaran is fuel efficient might be a little bit a stretch, because it's still a big boat and it's still going to draw a lot of fuel. But compared to its monohull friend, yeah, it's more efficient. Number 9, and the big deal breaker, at least for me. So catamarans offer more comfort. I really believe in that. The experience I have is that the catamaran is just ridiculously much better when it comes to comfort. Like for me, heeling over and leaning all the time is just make any sense. I mean, the boat is somewhat made for leaning over, but once it starts doing that, stuff stop working. You know, you can't barely move around. everything's tilted to the side, the things keeps falling over and blah blah. I know some of you guys are like, oh, you should just tighten up your gear and blah blah, but I don't know. It's just sailing flat and sailing, a little bit wobbly. I'm totally fine with that, but sailing on a constant heel, I'm done with that. Okay guys, thanks a lot for watching this video on the 9 difference between a sailboat and a catamaran. And it's been a beautiful day here in Torremolinos, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, well, just let me know by liking or subscribing or whatever it is that you could do down there. And if you don't, leave something in the comments and I'll try to make it better next time.